How we doing, everybody? Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. Just loading in here.
I don't think there's arsenals in the barracks this block.
No, there are not.
Nope. Okay, let's find one.
Afternoon, sir.
Right.
Hey, where'd you Out the way.
I feel like a caged animal in here. So we just loaded, or we just transferred training maps. So this is all pretty well new to me.
Hello. Ah. I guess you should do it. Yeah. Also, can we just have BMO like do scroll wheel, get load out, boom.
I mean, no, you should have everything set. What we can do is we can add Ace public loadouts, right?
Oh yeah, just add Ace public loadouts for the things.
Yeah, just make them all public. Anyway, boys, cultural field is to your right. Exiting here to your right. Don't run on the warrior smoke and keep your mouths shut. Private Harris. Rep the order uniform.
I don't think he's in police beat.
Like half of people aren't even in this channel yet. Never mind. Why are they
You're
not
talking
in?
to no one.
Why is default thing over? It worked for me. The auto switch.
Mine didn't switch either.
But you gotta tap back into the game, then it switched it for me.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it needs to be an version then. I don't know.
we goofed up.
Am I missing the berets? What the hell?
Do not run. Stop, Major. Flyers walk. Kahira, you got your corporal stripes? Yep. Sklenar, yep. You're good.
Okay.
Brains messing. Oh, that's nice. Oh, pond.
I feel my feet getting wet.
Good.
we're all set.
Hey Brock, now that we're back home, do we gotta start saluting officers every time we see them?
It's working.
Hey, firm.
So we're just loading in, getting everything set.
To the right, I think.
Then is it first row or?
Spartan should nevertheless go more than 5 when we're behind.
It's probably gonna be more than 5, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Might get a little loud here. Going into, oh no, it kicked me out of channel. Maybe I'll look.
No patch.
Do we have mine?
Let's say we don't know. Let's say we don't know. Because I don't want to wolf, but
Yeah, I probably should do some patch checks.
fuck you, Poltroy.
What you saying, bro?
Here.
I got my patch.
Check. Oh, you have
Major,
no
sir?
mats left.
Yep.
I got your beret in front of you.
Oh!
We're late.
Just reminding everyone.
There you go.
Phoenix, you guys should just use the first rank. Cover.
See, now it's pretty fancy. Rank uniform, rank everything. What? How dare you?
Yeah, I'm on 110. Yep. Make sure how to walk the whole time.
First platoon, attention. Sir, first platoon is all present and accounted for.
Who? Post. All right. Hear me in the back. All right, sweet. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. We're gonna have a couple people probably loading in here, as we did get a late start with the respawn issues, but we'll get those worked out. Hope everybody had a excellent Exodus, some time off, time to spend with family, friends, game, whatever your leisure. That's something that we've been doing, boy, I think for 10 plus years now. It seems to really help with just getting ready for the new year, ready to start over another year, and get you refreshed, re-energized. Not making some things mandatory is good. You get to spend time with myself. I went on a Disney vacation for the entire 9-10 days, so had a lot of fun there. First time there, so Drake and Lieutenant Lambert can contest. I got some pictures of their relatives that I found at the zoo. So, month of December, we had a really successful 2020. Though the year was shit for all of the world due to COVID-19 and quarantines and mandates on everything, so it seems. It really helped us, however. What do you do when you can't go outside? Well, you get on the computer and you game. So that was something that worked extremely well to our benefit. RRO will be compiling the fourth quarter and year-end recruiting and retention numbers, see how we did stacked up compared to prior years on recruiting, and then how we did on retention. I know retention itself is going to be phenomenal. We really, for the most part, in 2020 doubled in size, opening 2 new squads with 3rd squad and 4th squad. The leadership development that we produce through our NCO Corps is phenomenal. Being able to see leaders come up and take on leadership roles, whether that's an FTL squad leader all the way up to platoon leader that we have. As I did say, we do have some changes coming along today with some staff positions and moving some leadership positions around for the most part, but we'll get into those. This is actually a really large ceremony, so I'll try to talk as quick as possible. I'm already a long-winded person, so I apologize in advance. But some notes are for some anniversaries. We have one anniversary coming up here in the month of January. It's a 1-year anniversary for Sergeant Shade. He is going to be hitting 1 year on January 19th. This is not his first year with us. He originally enlisted with us back in July of 2016. He took a year off. He retired for about a year in 2019, came back January 2020. And so for the most part, he's coming up on 4 active years with us for the most part. So if you see him this week, this month, tell him congratulations, as he's hitting that 1 year. Let's see. We ended Operation Thin Ice last month, on the month of the 20th was our last combat operation of Thin Ice. Outstanding job transitioning back. We went right away into that exodus for our redeployment home. Officially now we are back in the United States, stateside, Fort Stewart. Outstanding job to the staff that put together our kind of new training map. As you see, this is all new. Our Warriors Walk, I love that. Those that don't know what the Warriors Walk is in real life, it is a tree for every fallen 3rd ID soldier since basically 2011 or 2001, with the basically War on Terror. So there's a lot of trees in the real one. So we have 460 something. What was it, Lambert? I know I told
469.
yeah 469. Um, a bulk of those, unfortunately, coming between that 2001 and 2007 time frame when we were in the height of both Iraq and Afghanistan wars. So this is an honorable area for us. That's why it's a walk. You want to take our time, show respect. I mean, each one of these trees, obviously, it's hard for us to be able to put 469 trees in our map right now, but it's the symbol of that we're trying to represent and honor. This is our parade ground. We have a lot of good things that obviously come to everybody on this ground, so we just want to make sure everybody's aware. BMOs and COE are doing outstanding on developing of our training maps and whatnot, and we'll get into that a little bit more. I also have the the announcement of our third ID our third ID's thin ice campaign ribbons for thin ice, as well as what unit citation each soldier will be given. When we get to that point, those lists are fairly large, so I won't have anybody post. As there we're looking at 30 to 40. Might as well just have everybody step forward. So it's one of those. We are announcing the fourth quarter Soldier of the Quarter as well, which is in this formation. It was a board that went through command staff. We went through a couple nominees and narrowed it down and selected the fourth quarter Soldier of the Quarter, which we'll talk about. And then just some, I could tell you that this, for the entire 2020, I don't think we've ever had a large enough ceremony list like we do today. So I guess without being more long-winded than I am, let's go ahead and get the following post. Paxton, Sam, Nuccio, and Kimball. Post. All right, Buffets. All right. These soldiers are hereby being awarded the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. In the month of December, we raised $385. Technically a little bit more, being that we had a couple donations that we filed early last month. But this is from ceremony date forward till now. So three out of four of these soldiers are being awarded the MO VSM with Valor for donating $100 or more in that calendar month. So that's Paxton, Sam, and Nuccio. And then very honored to have Private Kimball, which just enlisted earlier this weekend, and already donated $75. So something that I'm probably extremely proud of is the amount of donations that came in. I'll be finishing up the 2020 financial records probably this week, and I'm looking excited to see exactly how much we brought in, what our unit fund is at. That supplies a lot of things for our unit. Obviously, I've mentioned every ceremony about two things that have units fail, and it's finances and poor leadership. So luckily, we're blessed with great financing and extremely great leadership. So big hoo to these soldiers for continuing to push on, and let's continue to really ramp that up for 2021. Cool. Thank you.
Cool.
Right. Bellface. Thanks again, gentlemen. Fall back in. All right. Next up, I won't have everybody post on this one as it is a fairly large list, so that'll save us some time to cut back. But this is for the Good Conduct Medal. The soldiers that I'll be listing off are being awarded the Good Conduct Medal for continuous good service of 3 months. So you can earn this ribbon up to 4 times, medal 4 times a year. If you have no AWOL lapses, that means you're reporting in every 7 days, 7 to 10 officially. But once you hit that day 10, you're AWOL, and then for the most part, you recycle. You go back to, day one of your 90 days needed for good conduct. Um, so we have Lambert, Brock, Grigg, Skanar, Abel, Tucci, Sam, Klein, Ayers, Lang, Pendergast, Flanagan, Liwa, Orsini, Marsh, and Bodwin are all being awarded the Good Conduct Medal. Again, 3 months of good service. I mean, all it takes is doing what you do. Show up when you're supposed to. TPR if you can't make it. That's one of the beautiful things with our unit is that we understand that there is, real life obligations to every single one of us. We're together, regardless if you are a high school student, college student, family man, family woman, anything like that. We understand that, and we just need to have 100% accountability of you, not 100% activity out of you. So continue to do what you do, and you'll get on that good conduct list soon enough. Next up, if I can get Perry and Harris post. All right, Buffets. All right, Private Perry and Private Harris here. Both are currently active duty military in the U.S. Army. They went through the selection or the verification process for the National Defense Service Medal. This is an award that is only given out in our unit, the 3rd Infantry Division Realism unit, for service to your nation. It does not have to be the United States military. If you are in a European or a foreign other than U.S., obviously it's a little harder for us to verify. As in the U.S., we have ways to figure that out through our record systems. But usually if you want to apply for that, come contact me, and we'll kind of go through that process if you're in a foreign military. But it's for the honor of serving your nation. You answered the call. You're doing something extremely honorable for yourself, for your family, and that's something that Perry and Harris here both signed that blank check. So appreciate it. Thank you for your service. Cool.
Cool.
All right, Bellface.
Cool.
And Harris, you'll get up to the rank that you currently are. Don't worry. Thanks for your service. Fall back in. All right. Next up, I'll take Skits, Brock, Carey, and Neeson. Post. All right, cover down. There you go. All right, Ballface. All right, these 4 soldiers, 3 in front of you, are hereby being awarded the Armed Forces Service Medal. So the qualification to receive the Armed Forces Service Medal is through our DMOSs. A large chunk of our awards and ribbons and medals and whatnot are earned through the admin side of the unit. Those that don't know, this is how we get people into our DMOSs. As you get up to the rank of specialist, it's a requirement. To achieve specialist is to be in an entry level or higher DMOS. But we have to have that combat side of the unit, and we have the administrative side of the unit. In the real military, those are just separate MOSs that you get to go into. Here we have to do multiple roles per person to make it successful and not a burden on a few soldiers, but the masses handle it. So Skits is being awarded 6 months good service in the DMOS of PAO. Corporal Skits is currently our NCOIC in PAO, so he does outstanding with journalism and getting articles, everything on our front of our website, with the help of a few other soldiers that get into our Facebook group and YouTube and whatnot. So Sergeant Brock for service in BMO of 6 months, Carey for FIG service for 6 months, and Neeson for CID. And As you can see, that's a wide range of all our DMOSs to have that tenure of just 6 months in that DMOS. I mean, we got some pretty solid leaders, all of good stature, good rank, serving within our DMOSs, and that's what makes it successful. So, Hua, congratulations.
Well,
All right,
Hua.
Balfus. All right, fall back in. So Sergeant Shade is not currently present. He's being awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal for 12 months service, 12 months time in service with a deployment. So you get this after, any of you basically now hit your 12 months, so over 365 days, and you will be awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal because we just completed a operation. So you at least need one mission of that entire operation. We had 26 missions. To be able to get that, and Sergeant Shade was lucky enough to just hit his. So who would him? Let's see. Go ahead and get me Lucky, Unger, Neeson, and Greg post. Copy. All right, Buffets. So I'll read the 2 citations of the soldiers that are here. So these soldiers are hereby being awarded a Joint Service Achievement Medal, so the JSAM. JSAM is one of those medals, as I mentioned before, that are awarded for extreme dedication to a DMOS, so the admin side of the unit. So we have Neeson. We have Neeson for outstanding service to CID. Over the past month, he has dedicated so many hours into combat imaging and documentation DMOS. This soldier has created new article banners for PAO, images for FIG in the training map, and several other tasks. And then Sergeant Greg for outstanding service within BMO for his outstanding DMOS work as a base maintenance NCYC, which he recently just took last month, and publishing several new mission files for our public and Realism servers. So, outstanding job to these two, as well as for Lucky, his JSAM is coming through FIG for his outstanding work there, and Unger through BMO as well for completing multiple requests and just being over everything. I mean, he does outstanding there too. So a big hua to these 2 soldiers in front of us and 4 altogether. So hua, thank you.
Hua.
All right,
Hua.
Buffets. Thank you, gentlemen. Bob again. And then I will, let's see, Sergeant Brock, post. All right, Buffets. So Sergeant Brock here is hereby being awarded, I'm going to say once again, the Humanitarian Service Medal. So the Humanitarian Service Medal is awarded 2 ways, obviously, for going above and beyond in a personal nature for a fellow soldier that is recognized by your command staff or your first line leaders, as well as voting. It's that easy. Voting on clans lists up to 2 times a day for 30-day rolling calendar. So really, that's 60 votes. That's something that Staff Sergeant Brock is very passionate about. And so far, I think this is now consecutively the third month in a row. Sergeant Brock has done this, and he has an extremely good routine on how he does it. I try, and the best I can get, I think I looked last night, I was at 25. So it's simple as voting on your computer that you're at right now, and maybe your phone or your tablet. You can vote per device, but our website tracks it, or on your profile tracks you 2 times a day at maximum. So you can get up to 60 times in a calendar month, and then you'll qualify for the Humanitarian Service Medal. So thank you for your dedication, Staff Sergeant, and hua.
Oh,
All right, about face.
What?
Fall back in. And if you haven't noticed throughout Exodus, outstanding job. I don't think I've ever seen us under 3 on that clans list, and I've seen several enlistments come in over Exodus with clans list being how they saw or found us and whatnot. So, all right, Corporal Sam, post. All right, Buffets. All right. Corporal Sam here is hereby being awarded the Joint Service Commendation Medal. So this is again another DMOS medal on a higher stature, higher level than the JSAM. It's for outstanding extended amount of time in a DMOS and having that great service and conduct. So for outstanding service in BMO for an extended period of time, having a big list of completed BMO requests for the month of December as well as November. If I recall, he was up here last month for the JSAM for his work in BMO, and obviously doesn't go unnoticed. He's basically just proven himself to be an extremely good asset within our BMO. And that is, those that don't know, kind of our record keeping side of the unit. It's not exactly flashy. It's all computer based. There's nothing, I would say, motivational or fun in BMO that's going to make you say, oh yeah, I want to jump in and do that. It's a lot of service records, combat records, and basically it's the administrative, the paperwork side of our unit. And it's good to see soldiers being recognized for that outstanding dedication towards that DMOS. So, thank you, Corporal. Buffface.
oh.
Fall back in. All right, next up, if I can get Dorji, Evans, King, and Nuccio, post. All right, Buffface. All right, these two in front of you, 4 in total, are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E3, Private First Class. This is really their first stepping stone in our unit, fairly new, enlisted within the last month or so. Completed their OSET, got their Private Second Class for qualifying and going through all the basic training and orientation side of our unit. Really hitting this step, I mean, it qualifies them for a couple other DMOSs to jump into, get in and be in those entry level DMOSs. Obviously, to get to that specialist rank, the next one, you have to be in a DMOS. So I highly encourage you to look at that list in our DMOS forums, figure out what you want to do, what you will find joy in, and be able to make that happen. One thing that we also want to make sure is that we're voting on clans lists as we continue to move up into PFC and specialists ranks. Voting on clans lists at a minimum of 4 to 5 times a month. That's not very hard. You could do that in 1 week. You're going to want to make sure that you qualify for that rank and not get held up because of you didn't vote. It's something so simple. You help out the entire unit, and it shows your dedication to our unit and that you're actively participating on our forums. So, big hoo to these 4, and congratulations on PFC. Hoo.
What?
Ballface. Congrats, gentlemen. Fall back in. All right. Next up, go ahead, get me Marsh, Cooper, Orsini, and Sap. Post. All right, Buffets. All right, these 4 soldiers are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E4 Bravo Specialist. So they are entering what we call the E4 Mafia. That specialist rank is really the catch-all type of rank. You can be a bum in that rank and do the bare minimum, or you can lead in that rank and move up throughout your career. As I mentioned earlier, one of the requirements for achieving the rank of specialist is getting into a DMOS, serving in the admin side of our unit. And these 4 soldiers have done that and are currently doing that. So it's outstanding. Congratulations and welcome to the E4 Mafia. Oh. All right, Ballface. Congrats. Fall back in. All right, next up. All right. So this list, probably the largest list of this medal I think we've ever awarded in the entire, at least 14, 15 years I've been here. And it's of a pretty big achievement, the Army Achievement Medal. So I won't have all these soldiers post because it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So half of the people potentially that's in this server right now. But I will read the as soon as I find where it's at. There we go. Read the citations and who it's about. So we have, starting off with Sergeant First Class Drake being awarded the Army Achievement Medal for outstanding commitment and dedication over holiday exodus to host multiple events, Sunday TVT events. Sergeant First Class Drake spent hours creating the mission and tasks in order to ensure all members that attended had a great time throughout our holiday exodus. Holiday exodus is for the most part for the masses to take some time off. Unfortunately, there's some key leaders in our unit that didn't get to do that. We have to have things going. We had several middle, I guess, leadership, squad leaders, fire team leaders step up, host some small events as well, and it doesn't go unnoticed. But RRO never really took their foot off the gas either. So appreciate all that. We got Staff Sergeant Brock for outstanding service and commitment to the unit. As a whole, Staff Sergeant Brock started hosting Wednesday Warrior and Friday night fights. Say that 10 times fast. Missions back in April of 2020. This soldier, until this day, will always host events and ensuring soldiers are having things to do on a weekly basis. He writes his own op orders and he posts them in the rest and recuperation R&R part of our forums weekly. So if you want to attend those, hit those up. Again, big call out for Staff Sergeant Brock for going above and beyond, making things happen and having things for our soldiers on downtime, not official unit times like what we're at right now, or FTXs or our squad drills, but just to have things to do throughout the week if you're available. We have Grig for outstanding performance, dedicated time, again, over the holiday exodus, for, again, similar events like TVTs. Grig is another soldier who has spent quite a few hours planning and preparing operations and missions on the side for us all to do. Shade has been working closely with BMO and FIG to draft up a squad-designated marksman's course, which is coming up here, going above and beyond and introducing a new weapon platform to the unit and getting as many soldiers qualified as possible for the upcoming stateside months. So as we are now deployed back home, we're able to open up a couple more courses, schools that I'll announce here later on what to do or what we can do. And Sergeant Shade's one of those that is leading from the front and helping ensure that those courses go good. Neeson for achievement in the face of the enemy as a 2IC of Alpha Fire Team, serving as acting FTL several times during Operation Thin Ice. Specialist Neeson has ensured Alpha's effectiveness, defeating the enemy with speed and violence of action. His leadership has ensured continue of action and success of the objective during a number of critical conjunctures in our missions. So one neat thing about the Army Achievement, it can be awarded for combat as well as administrative. As you can see, in this case, Neeson is on the combat side, leading from the front as a not only acting FTL, not necessarily his first duty position, but it's something that he took on. Nichols for outstanding performance in first squad, Alpha squad or Alpha Fire Team, demonstrating initiative, esprit de corps, and overall excellence in soldiering. He has directly contributed to the success of the squad's mission. Specialist Nichols thinks outside the box, offers critical feedback to improve our operational capabilities. His service falls in line of the highest standards within First Squad. Unger, for meritorious service while serving as an automatic rifleman in the first Squad Bravo team. He wrote this out like a like a full thing, so I'm trying to skim through it. Demonstrating excellence, leadership in combat operation, thin ice while being an FTL, with Corporal Sam incapacitated, knowing how to keep the soldiers focused and morale up until he was able to get back up and running. Corporal Sam Unger did this, so with no hesitation, he knows that the mission must go on. During this period, the outstanding professional skill and ceaseless effort of Specialist Unger resulted in major contributions and an effectiveness to the squad. Specialist Unger's extraordinary efforts and accomplishments during this time period reflect great credit upon himself and the unit. We have Pendergast. Pendergast has proven himself to be a valuable member of Phoenix 4 Squad. Not only does he excel in his position as a squad medic, he is also capable of taking over leadership when the squad leader or other fire team members are down. When I, his squad leader, could not attend the monthly platoon meeting, I needed a replacement. Not only was he happy to attend, but he also provided me with an outstanding report, as if I was there meeting myself. Poltrack has proven himself to be a valuable member of our squad. Not only does he excel in his position, but he has also the capabilities of leadership as well when the squad leader or other fire team members aren't present or down. So really it's the same line. Outstanding job there. This one is extremely hua. He was just up here to get promoted, but Georgie, who just took on PFC, so as a private second class, is being awarded officially the Army Achievement Medal for his direct contributions to accomplishments of our squad's objectives during a Presence Patrol 20, serving as Alpha Rifle AT. Private Dorji acted with initiative in response to an ambush of Objective Brass, repeatedly leading breaches into enemy-occupied buildings. He secured a number of positions in Zegun, must have been the village, I assume. He went on to act with the same commitment in the mission in breaching and clearing enemy caves near POA Zulu. So, and this last one is kind of a really goes down to the admin side of the unit and wraps a lot of things in. So Lambert, Drake, Grigg, Skinar, and Paxton are being awarded the Army Achievement Medal for following mission files that were created on this map. I don't know how you say this map's name. Virolati? I don't know. Someone help me on that one. The map that we're on right now. Virolati. Okay. However, obviously this is our new training map, so a lot of things had to be made. Not only our the Rock of the Marne, where we're at right now, our OSET course, which was made with Greg and Skinar, our Fort Benning Airborne and Air Assault and Land Nav with Lieutenant Lambert, Fort Benning Expert Infantry School with Sergeant First Class Drake. Paxton created several useful composites of Fort Stewart, Rock of the Marne, dedicating several hours to assisting in the publication of our current Fort Stewart. So, it's come a long way from start. And I know they're not done. This is something that really never gets finished as we keep tweaking and keep getting better, helping. But that was, as I said, one of the largest lists I think I've ever had to read for an Army Achievement Medal, which to me is just outstanding. Very happy to be able to award those and have soldiers, be recognized for all their efforts that go into whether that's the DMOSs, the admin side, or the combat leadership side. So a big hoo to those soldiers. Hoo. Now I got a drink of water.
Yeah, someone get Major Flash.
I need a canteen. All right. Next up, go ahead, get me Ayers, Pendergast, and Poltrack. Post. I need my runner to go fill up my water glass. All right, Ballface. All right, these 3 soldiers are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E4 Alpha, Corporal. So all 3 of these soldiers are currently in a leadership position. They are doing outstanding, obviously, to be even recognized and promoted to Corporal. I mean, they're entering the NCO Corps, which is no small feat in itself with what is required of an NCO in our unit. But then just in general, what they can do with their fire teams, and hopefully go on to lead a squad effectively. So a big hooah and welcome to the NCO Corps. Cool.
Cool.
Right. Bellface. Fall back in. All right. So next up, go ahead, get me Perry, Mowley. I'm gonna slaughter that name. Evans, King, Wilcox, Stevens, and Smith. Post. All right, Buffets. All right, the list of soldiers, the 2 in front of you, generally come with a lower rank currently right now, but luckily they got in and achieved at least 1 combat mission in their tours so far. They're hereby being awarded their Combat Infantry Badge Stage 1 for completion of at least 1 combat operational mission within the month of December. So this list is always usually the largest of our stages, definitely going into or just finishing up an operation, but always to our new soldiers. So hooah and congratulations for achieving that combat. Hooah.
Oh.
All right, Buffets. Congratulations. Fall back in. All right, next, Neeson, post. I know he was present earlier. Neeson? Do you hear me? Alright. So, Neeson is hereby being awarded Stage 2 of the Combat Infantry Badge. Now, he's been around in our unit for, as I know we just gave him a medal for 6 months at least, but it's a little weird that he might be getting the Stage 2 at the end of our operation. It is simply because prior to this last month, he served as a combat medic, which gets awarded the medical badge stages versus the infantry. So being that he switched back over into an infantry stage role, he now qualifies for that Stage 2. So hooah to him.
Cool.
All right. And then Nuccio. I don't think he's present. So Nuccio is a recently re-enlisted soldier who served with us several years ago. He participated in 2 prior operations, and then participated in an operation Thin Ice here in December. So therefore, he qualifies for Stage 3 of the combat. With that, as you hit stage 3 of the CIB, you also are effectively awarded the third ID combat patch. So that's something that is being awarded to him. So outstanding job to him. Cool. Next up, get me Paxton, Garcia, Pendergast, Sap, Perry, Attack, Molly. I'll get the name sooner or later. Perez and Dorji post. Buffets. All right, so in the month of December here, actually during Exodus, we had an air assaults course that happened with our sister unit, the 173rd. That's one thing that we like to do, cross-train with sister units. The training's not exactly always up to what we may do. So I highly encourage you, if you attended the air assault course here with the 173rd, you attend it with us as well to see the difference. And the 173rd does the same. They attend their courses, and then we're working closely with their C staff, their command staff, to getting more cross training with them coming over and attending our air assault, our airborne, and so forth. So, but you soldiers attended the air assault course officially, and therefore are awarded your air assault wings and your skill badge. So congratulations and hua.
Cool. All right.
Ballface. Fall back in. All right. Paxton post. You were just up here. All right, Buffets. All right. So one thing that is awarded with tours of service, or not tours, operations, is the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the GWAT. It's awarded for 3 operations of service as well. In this case, this is, I believe, your 4th now, Paxton, with us throughout your tours. So him and Nucio are hereby being awarded the the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the GWAT. So congratulations, Hua.
Cool.
Buffets. Congratulations. All right, fall back in. Next up, get me Klein, Sam, Carey, Grig, Errs, Lang, Molly, and Ericola. Post. All right, Ballface. All right. So this is an award that came across my desk that I actually upgraded a few soldiers after reading the recommendation. So the soldiers in front of you are hereby being awarded the Army Commendation Medal, and all of them with a V device, which means it's a combat earned combat valor. Is what that V device means. So Klein, for merit and sustained achievement in the face of an enemy during Operation Thin Ice, as first squad medic, Specialist Klein has consistently provided outstanding care to his fellow Scorpions and others in our AO. His leadership of CLS while under fire has repeatedly meant the difference between a recoverable mass CAS or a near total loss. Specialist Klein's skilled work serves as a force multiplier and stands in lines with the highest standards of first squad. Corporal Sam with V device for outstanding combat leadership during Operation Thin Ice, serving as Bravo Team Fire Team leader. Corporal Sam has led by example, consistently building up the team's effectiveness and completing his tactical objectives, taking leadership of the squad as 3 IC when necessary, His level-headed direction to sustain Scorpion's effectiveness in critical situations, his dedication to the mission and his men make him a superb example of leadership. Carry with V-Device. The merit and sustained achievement in combat leadership role during Operation Thin Ice, serving as a fire team leader. Corporal Carey has led his men with technical proficiency as the tip of the spear. He has typically been the first in combat. His cool thinking, effective comms, and leadership set the example, or by example, has resulted in numerous successes on our objectives. He stands as a valued asset within our team. And then this next one, which all together, so Greg, Ayers, Lang, Molly, and Cola, with V-Device, Sergeant Greg, with others, was together with Ayers, Cola, Lang, Molly, Sergeant First Class Drake. We were flanked by 2 enemy technicals, with 1 additional circling us, on top of infantry coming at us. I myself went down as well as Specialist Ayers, as this was during a movement. Molly and Lang were at the end point of their bound. Lang radioed, took control of the squad, and started directing fire, going as far as to direct Sergeant First Class Drake where to focus his 40 millimeters, which is your 203s. The squad, after dealing with a couple of the vehicles, commissioned an enemy jeep for the squad. The squad moved to the location determined by the squad leader earlier as a good step-off point to their next objective via an alternate route. At this point, the squad leader regained consciousness, went forward with the mission. During the entire time, Molly, being in his first ever operational mission, did not panic and took the orders from the others with law and executed his fire team rifleman duties with excellence. The squad medic, Okola, managed to find a nice balance to provide care to his squad leader and team. It's a big write-up, so I'm losing track here. This being one summarized encounter of about 20 minutes best describes as organized chaos, and knowing that this sort of scenario happened no less than more than 2 times. I believe the entire squad presented themselves deserving of this recognition. However, the organization in an event like this, something we all should strive to achieve at the time. We are most vulnerable, flanked, outgunned, and losing leadership. So really, that was, for the most part, an entire fire team that went up against unbelievable odds, and really made it happen. Something that is never easy. As we all know, we all get steamrolled from the enemy here and there. And it's something that, obviously, being awarded the Archon with Valor, it goes out without saying. So who are these soldiers, and congratulations. Cool.
Whoa.
Fall about face. Alright. Cool. Congratulations. Fall back in. Alright. Next up, I'm just making sure all this, I don't get all my papers mixed up, because then we'll be SOL. Sam, post. It's not my fault it's 8 pages. It's because you guys freaking rock. That's why it's 8 pages of notes. Alright, Bellface. Alright. Corporal, you are hereby being awarded another mosquito wing to that corporal rank. You are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E5 Sergeant. You've been up here a few times today for outstanding work in DMOSs, outstanding work in your combat role, and it just proves the show when you went through our promotion boards and knocked that out of the park. You're an outstanding leader, and I look forward to seeing you progress in these upcoming roles. So, and congratulations, Sergeant.
Whoa.
Yeah, ball face. Fall back in. All right. Next up, get me Alice and Bodwin post. All right. So these two, other one must be sleeping over there, are hereby being awarded the Overseas Service Ribbon. Oh, sorry. Yeah, about face. The Overseas Service Ribbon. So this is awarded for um, several operations. So obviously getting through. I mean, these combined, these two at least have 5 to 8 years in the unit with us. They've served in multiple roles throughout the unit. Currently, right now, both are actually in our 3 cab, giving us effective CAS and transport. So big congratulations, and something that should have been seen a little while ago, but congratulations, Hua. Just making sure since I only have you. About face, Hua. All right, fall back in. Okay, Iricola post. All right, about face. All right, specialist here is hereby being awarded the Combat Medical Badge. So this is awarded into being our squad medic. Cola here took over being a squad medic within the squad. I think this last month, being coming out of the infantry side, getting into that 68 whiskey, and serving as our combat medic. So congratulations and Hua. Thanks for patching us up, Doc. Hua. All right, Buffface. Fall back in. All right. Next up, go ahead, get me Sam, Carrie, and Errors post. Ooh, all of them are here. Outstanding. All right, Buffface. All right. So, this is a medal that I refer to as the Enemy Marksmanship Badge, also known as the Purple Heart. So these 3 soldiers, I have citations to read for each of them on how they earned the honor of being shot in the ass and getting back up and completing their mission as leaders. So we have Sam for military merit and wounds received during mission Bullet Swarmer on November 22nd of 2020, while leading Scorpion's Bravo fire team in combat. Corporal Sam sustained wounds that resulted in his unconsciousness on OP-10, southeast of Vermeer. His fire team reacted to the threat and secured and recovered, and his recovery with the squad medic, and he continued on the to directly contribute to first squad success within the objectives of that day. Carrie for military merit and wounds received during mission Crow's Nest on 20 December 2020, leading Alpha Fire Team in combat. Corporal Carrie was severely wounded during his push on OBJ flatline. His 2IC communicated to the squad lead, took control of the situation until CLS could treat the corporal. Once back on his feet, he led his fire team to accomplish the mission against the enemy of the KHM. Then we have Errors for military merit and wounds received during Operations Crow's Nest 20 December 2020. Specialist Ayers performs his duty above and beyond his actual position and excelled at it. On 2 occasions, Specialist Ayers took command of the squad and executed the commander's intent as if it was himself the squad leader. The most notable example of this, after an assault on OBJ Black Ice, he was next to the squad lead when an enemy ASG-30 opened up, but he managed to survive due to his own body taking most of the shrapnel. Instead of panicking, Specialist Ayers organized a strike on the GMG, and together with the team of Spartans, cleared out the objective. Specialist Ayers then continued to lead the squad in my absence, the squad leader. He ordered the squad to move through them through the city. During this time, the squad encountered enemies in the building and opened up in the open. But even with the overwhelming chatter on the platoon net, he managed to stay cool, lead the squad to our final breaching point. At this time, I managed to regroup with the squad after reinsert. Was swiftly briefed on the situational status and current status on ammunition, casualties, and equipment. A solid ace report. Overall, I was extremely pleased and happy to see how the squad managed itself under the leadership of Specialist Ayers in my absence. So these 3 soldiers being awarded a Purple Heart, it's not just about getting hit, right? We all get hit. This is Arma. You can step on a crack and be dead. However, it's mostly the actions that come of that. Keeping cool, taking command. Your team goes down, you go down. What happens? When it's pushing through that diversity and hopefully getting healed, right? And then being able to lead forward and complete those objectives that commander's intent. So a big hoo to these 3 and congratulations. Hua.
Whoa.
All right, Bowface. Congrats. Hua. All right. Fall back in. Sergeant Grigg post. All right, Bellface. With keeping with the finest traditions, for outstanding work as a squad leader, taking over ghosts. He's been not only motivational, he's been a true leader, somebody that his soldiers can rely on. So it's an honor to promote you to the grade and rank of Staff Sergeant E6. Taking on these upcoming months, moving into being a senior squad leader as a staff sergeant doesn't go unnoticed and outstanding. Really appreciate what you do for our unit, and congratulations.
Whoop.
Ballface. All right, fall back in. All right. So, Corporal Skits post. All right, Bellface. So as I mentioned earlier, the dedication of 3 months. We have 4 quarters in the year. It's with honor that I get to present to you Corporal Skits being named our 4th quarters Soldier of the Quarter. So big hooah to you. Hold on, hooah. Everybody. There you go. So to be named the 4th quarter, or just to be named, or let me put it this way: we had a couple soldiers. It made it a very hard competition between who to push the honor of this on. With it, Corporal, you're being awarded the Soldier's Medal, which is only awarded to soldiers that are selected Soldier of the Quarter. So this year we've had 4 of them. and you are the fourth. Being able to be in that name, it's something that sticks with you now the rest of your career. It's always on your profile as a soldier of the quarter. We conducted a interview with Corporal Skitz here that will be posted on our front page as well as the soldier of the quarter area. But just what the corporal has done in the last 3 months, let alone his entire career with our unit. He leads our PAO. He took it over and has really helped revamp it, ensure that we continue to have that image. Public Affairs Office is our image of our unit. That's our social media, so Facebook, YouTube, that's our website. That's everything to do with the outside image of our unit. And I hold a very high standard of that. Not only are we representing the real 3rd Infantry Division, which some of you in this formation, including myself, have served in the real 3rd ID, so we take honor in that. But we want to make sure that that image is of good nature, honorable, and just has a high level of professionalism. And that's something that PAO really does for us, as well as obviously the actions of our soldiers. So not only that, he's a leader within a combat unit. He serves as a fire team leader and ensures that he's going to lead from the front. So not only is he a leader on both sides of the unit, he's an up-and-comer in our unit. Somebody that we can rely on, that we can put a little bit extra tasks and duties on, and it's more of a hell yeah, give me more. And that's really what won him the Soldier of the Quarter, is his dedication and everything that he has provided thus far to myself, being the OIC of PAO, but then also as the commander and our command staff. So a big hoo to him, and congratulations, Corporal. Hoo.
What?
All right, Bellface. Congrats, Corporal.
Thank you, sir.
Fall back in. All right, go ahead and get me Lambert post. Right. Bellface.
Oh.
All right. So, I'd like to award you a medal that I find, well, I'll just say it. Meritorious Service Medal. So for the prior 12 months now, you've been in a platoon leadership role since January of 2020. So since the beginning of this last year, through our entire operational side, you've either been holding the platoon sergeant position, coming out of a squad leader position in 2019, to now leading a platoon as a platoon sergeant and effectively leading a platoon as a platoon leader for the last 6 months-ish. So for outstanding service within all leadership roles of a platoon over the course of 12 months and holding several key roles in leadership throughout our DMOSs. The unit can't thank the lieutenant more than enough for the work that he does on the back end of our unit, let alone the admin side of the unit. I like to shed some light on him as much as possible, being that we have not exactly the same time zone of the poor lieutenant here. Currently, right now, it is 6 a.m. in the morning for the lieutenant, which means he's been on probably since 4 a.m. this morning. I can't think of any of us in America that'll probably wake up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Consistently to do a video game, to do paperwork, to lead, things like that. So it shows extreme dedication on his side, living in Australia. And we've had soldiers prior that have been in our unit that have come from a large time zone area. When you're 17, 18 hours different from what the unit operates, it's a lifestyle change, and that's something that I like to shed some light on for the lieutenant here, and why I think the Meritorious Service Medal is something that is well earned and well achieved. So big hooah to you. Hooah.
What?
with that, I'd like to take that butter bar and scrub it a little bit and make it shiny. I'd like to hereby promote you to the grade and rank of O2 First Lieutenant. After achieving the past 5 months serving as a Second Lieutenant, butter bar, I think it's fine to say you won't get lost. Maybe, but you do outstanding, so we'll give this one to you. So congratulations on achieving First Lieutenant. Oh.
What?
Oh. All right, Bellface. A lot of work to do with that new shiny bar. All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Fall back in. Congratulations. All right. So I'm going to cover, as I mentioned before, with our Operation Thin Ice. I'm not going to call these soldiers up, as it's a list of literally 40 plus soldiers receiving the Thin Ice campaign ribbon. So this is just for serving in one mission out of 26. One mission is all you needed to serve in to be awarded the campaign ribbon for serving within Operation Thin Ice. So that list will be posted. I'm not going to read the names. You know, if you attended an operation, you get this. Okay? It is a very large list. So we took anybody that's currently active duty in our unit, anybody that's currently on LOA, of course, in our unit, and those that retired, only retired, not those that discharged with a honorable general or lower. Those, if they re-enlist, they could qualify then if they bring it up. But so we have 3 soldiers that retired during Operation Thin Ice, and then all our current soldiers that have attended an operation. With that, I have moved to award unit citations. We just served an entire 11, 12 months in Iraq, fighting the KHM, which then was backed by the Iranians, which then we had to kick the Iranians' ass. Luckily, the UN got involved because it was close to them kicking our ass, which then de-escalated the situation to where then we were able to mop up the KHM and kill the KHM leader. All right, that was the whole storyline in 2 seconds there. So with that, out of 26 possible combat missions, I broke it down in this order. So there is a level of citations. There's the Army Superior, there's the Valorous unit citation, and there's the Presidential unit citation. So if you served in 1 mission to 10 missions in our operation, Thin Ice, you're being awarded the Army Superior Unit Award citation. If you served in 11 missions to 20 missions, note that the Army Superior, that's the bulk of a good chunk of soldiers. I'd say that's 15, 20 soldiers that are in that list, if not 30, pretty close actually. The Valorous Unit citation, if you served in a mission, 11 missions to 20 missions, in that case, that is 8 soldiers that achieved that. And then the Presidential, which is where I'll name those soldiers, being that is damn near the entire year of achieving 21 combat missions to all 26 combat missions. And we had a few soldiers that participated in every single combat mission. So with that is myself, Lieutenant Lambert, Sergeant Drake, Sergeant Brock, Sergeant Scanar, Sergeant Grigg, Sergeant Shade, Sergeant Grigg, and then Warrant Officer 1 Bodwin. So obviously these are a little higher, right? Many of you didn't even have the opportunity. I look at that list of soldiers that are for the Army Superior. Many of you are, from corporal on down, right? You just didn't have the opportunity to achieve all 26 or more. Many of you attended the 10 out of 10 possible missions that you could have done. So a big hooah to these soldiers. All of you. I mean, that list will be published here in our news article. So take a look. BMO will get a copy of this as well, to being able to say, for updating there. Look on that. Check your service record. See which one you got. But if you served in at least Operation Thin Ice, you're getting 2 citation ribbons, badges as you may say. So just for serving and being a part of the operation. Thin Ice was, as I said, 26 combat missions. That's a hell of a lot of ass kicking we did. So very proud of how we did, and from attendance to SOPs followed to combat environment achieved. So big hoo to everybody in our unit for all they've done in Thin Ice. I'm glad it is now officially in the record books, and we're able to move on to some FTXs, some training, get ready for what may come next. So a big hooah. Hooah. All right. So, due to, I'm going to say, administrative paper error, I did miss one anniversary of Staff Sergeant Brock. He achieved his 1 year this month. He's at 1 year and 4 days, actually, effective today. So he was somebody that enlisted in January. Actually, if I recall, he enlisted on my birthday, December 27th of 2019, sorry. And so has achieved that 1 year, also being awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal is that as well. So congratulations, Staff Sergeant. Hello. All right, without so we got one last thing here. If I can get Sergeant First Class Drake up here. Two last things, I should say. All right. About face. So as I mentioned, with some changes that will be happening in our unit to start 2021, new year, and those that don't know Sergeant First Class, he came up a second re-enlistment in our unit, has served in his current role as platoon sergeant in a prior tour, so it's only fitting that he does a satisfactory job at it, if you agree. Or disagree, you can take that up with him. However, with the vacancy through the mid-year of 2020, with the retirement of First Sergeant Conless, left this spot vacant as we were waiting to get back stateside. It was too vital to swap out a platoon sergeant and have him come up into the company level. But that's something that I'm honored to do today with the promotion of Sergeant First Class Drake to Master Sergeant, E8, to be able to jump into that top role and achieve, after First Sergeant school here, to be able to get his diamond and become the company First Sergeant. So he'll hold the slot currently as company First Sergeant, take on all the administrative and combat-related duties while he attends the First Sergeant school with myself. So in a later month here, we'll officially pin him with his diamond to be that First Sergeant. But congratulations, Master Sergeant Drake. Cool.
Thank you, Major.
With that, I'd like to award now Master Sergeant Drake a medal that I feel is extremely fitting for what he has conducted over the past year in our unit. Not even, I think it's been 10 months since his re-enlistment, coming back in and achieving squad leader and so forth. But throughout his time in our unit, he has moved to, in the current position that he's in, having led 16 combat missions in Operation Thin Ice. Master Sergeant Drake continues to lead from the front and ensures to brief his platoon with needed information, ensures squads are properly prepared for their engagement, more specifically for extraordinary acts of valor while under direct enemy fire during ground operations against superior hostile forces during Operation Thin Ice mission Crow's Nest. I'd like to award Master Sergeant Drake a Bronze Star with Valor. This is something that I saw personally. Just how, the lieutenant, it's common that us officers, we just die, right? We get knocked down. Nobody really cares about us anyway. But it's that NCO Corps, and that's something that can't go down and doesn't go down. And under the leadership of the whole NCO Corps is something that Master Sergeant Drake has been doing since taking over the platoon sergeant position. it goes without showing the nature and the status and the ability of our NCO Corps has skyrocketed under the direction of the sergeant here. And with that, on top of his combat leadership side of things, the enemy engagements, the everything and anything you can think of in a combat environment, Matt Sergeant here has done. So with that, I'm very honored to award the Bronze Star with V device for Valor. So,
Cool.
all right, Bohis. All right, stand by. Sergeant Brock, post. All right. So at this time, as I mentioned, this vacates a position of Widowmaker 7. This is something that we went through a pretty extenuous, for one, nomination list, but then also interviews and conducted inspections on those that qualify and those that really are somebody that we know can do this position. Out of all those, being very close and extremely hard, Staff Sergeant Brock is one that command staff has promoted, seems fit to promote to the position of platoon sergeant. So he will be vacating his squad leader position. Taking that over will be Sergeant Sam. So first, hua to Sergeant Sam for making SL. Hua. He will lead first squad from the front, much like Corporal Sam or Sergeant Sam was up here a lot today, and it shows why he was selected for that SL slot. So big hua, and then just the outstanding leadership that Staff Sergeant Brock has brought forth since enlisting in the unit a year and 4 days ago, and being able to continue to not only lead our FIG, our Force Improvement Group, the standards that we've done through all our trainings, but then the respect and the morale he brings to his squad as well as the entire unit made that decision, yet hard, a little bit easier, knowing what Staff Sergeant can do in this position. So it's with great honor that I'd like to hand Drake. Do you have your pistol on you? Anything on you?
Negative.
Negative?
I've got my earplugs.
Earplugs. We're not doing that. I was gonna do a change command ceremony, but we'll void that for now. I just came up with it in my head. I'm like, oh, we should do that. But anyway, so about face, both of you. Like you to look at your NCO leadership. With Master Sergeant Drake taking over in company, he's going to lead through Staff Sergeant Brock with our new, new to him, platoon position. Be able to have this type of growth in our unit. Not only was 2020 a shit year, due to everything that's pandemically going on in the world. As I mentioned, it's an outstanding thing for what we've done in 2020. As I said, the size we've grown, the capabilities we have achieved, and the leadership that we have developed goes without saying that the two soldiers in front right now are the main reasons, are a big contribution to why we're there, along with our current SLs and just NCO Corps in general. The NCO Corps is what runs this unit. Myself and Lieutenant Alice, Lieutenant Lambert, we just, sign paperwork basically, do nothing. And it goes to show what the NCO Corps does in the real unit or in the real military corresponds with what it does in our unit. So a big hoo to these two. Hoo.
Hoo.
All right, hoo. Ballface. All right. All right, take your new positions. Drake to my left, Brock to the back.
Yes, sir.
And Sam, cover down. Ugh. All right, let me make sure I have a check mark on every single thing before I fuck this up. All right. So, as mentioned, I didn't get into the note side of things with what we're doing here. So, as I mentioned with Um, uh, Upcoming things in the month of January. We have Combat Lifesaver School happening January 8th. Those that want to see a little bit into the Combat Lifesaver, to go through the course does not mean you are the Combat Lifesaver. It just means you have the capabilities. That's your squad leader, fire team leader's discretion on that. It is a requirement to obviously be Combat Lifesaver if you want to go be a squad medic sooner or later. We have Land Nav happening January 14th. We have an expert infantry badge, which is a course that is much like Ranger School. It has that same type of stature, not as long. Trust me, you don't have to worry about that. You won't be here for 12 hours in the dark. However, expert infantry badge is something that doesn't happen very often. I think our Master Sergeant Drake attended the last one, and I think that was 4 years ago. So it's something that happens here and there. But it does have the equation of what a Ranger School feel to it. It's that big of an honor. And then, so that's January 16th. There is a cadre run through. I think this on the 9th, Master.
April, this Saturday.
On the Saturday prior. Also to talk about we put out a contest at the end of October-November timeframe of last year of a banner contest. So those that have a little bit of Photoshop skills, with a new year, we need kind of a fresh new look, right? So we have a banner contest being selected. So Master Sergeant Drake actually submitted a banner for TeamSpeak, which was picked. So his banner will be uploaded to our TeamSpeak, as well as Specialist Liwa's banner will be uploaded and selected for our clans list. So we kind of took on 2 new banners. To me, they're impressive, way above any skill level I could do in paint, that's for sure. So big hoot to those soldiers for participating in, along with others, participating in our banner contest and being selected as the top 2. So a hoot to that. Other than that, I think that's enough of me talking. All right, Lieutenant, post.
Sure.
Take charge. Dismiss your troops.
Thank you, sir. All right, our company. So congratulations to all the soldiers that received a promotion or award. Keep up the outstanding effort. It was really amazing. This was a long ceremony, so you can really see how many awards were down on Major's 8 pages of notes.
Yeah.
Be sure to submit your CRD dress uniform updates nice and early. That way you aren't getting hassled by your fire team leaders and your squad leaders just before the next ceremony. You can't, generally we do forget things. So get those in nice and early. In terms of our mission, our FTX, I've been saying mission for the last 12 months, so excuse me. I'll see you at the company headquarters, which is the left building on my left shoulder behind us, which would be your right. You'll see the sign down there, just like we had the different signs for the Warriors Walk. Leadership brief, 14:30, so we'll have a couple of minutes to, grab something to eat, toilet break, and then be back there for squad leaders and up. And then all the other soldiers, just be at the briefing field at the company headquarters at 14:45 Eastern. And then we'll start our briefing for our first field training exercise since the completion of Operation Thin Ice. And all I ask is, for whatever reason, if you do have a TPR and you can't make the event, and you are going to disconnect and reconnect to change your name before then, in respect of Cottrell Field, if you are going to disconnect, just walk out that brick wall behind me, and then you may disconnect there. Other than that, that's all I have, sir. Anything else?
Nope. Should be set. Cool.
All right. Our company dismissed. Cool.
My feet are sloshy.
Yeah, it's some weird
My
texture.
cap? What do you
you're
mean?
adding.
I'm corporal now. So please respect my rank. I'm not out of uniform. Oh,
LP.
I am now.
Second
What the
LP.
fuck?
Good job.
Change my name.
I sprayed
more
the grass,
fitting.
okay?
This one, isn't it?
So,
Is that someone
so
running?
that us standing on
All right. Not sure why Carrie's stuck on me. There you go. But all right, I appreciate everybody that stopped in and watched. Obviously this is a new year, so we aren't in Operation Thin Ice anymore. So we got a lot of things to plan ahead on. We'll be entering a couple straight weeks, if not months, of kind of repetitive training to an extent. I know today we're going to be conducting an airborne drop, actually, something that we don't do very often. But appreciate everybody that stopped in and said hi. And we'll see you in a bit for FTX.